Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show, Red Pill Edition. My name is Leon Jones, and I'm doing what we call a special commentary. This is the debate edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. So, this morning, the title of the video is my overview of last night's debate. My overview of last night's debate. Now, from my humble opinion, it was a bloodbath. Both men were interrupting each other. But the worst person of all was Chris Wallace. Now, I used to be a champion of Fox News. But after Bill O'Reilly left and so many good personnel left, I stopped watching Fox News except for Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, and of course Sean Hannity. But what I saw last night was Joe Biden was on his heels a couple of times, and Chris Wallace bailed him out. And it seemed like Trump was debating Biden and Chris Wallace. And at the end of the day, what really got done was nothing. Nothing as far as policy is concerned. But what I did not like is Biden called Trump a racist. Biden called Trump a clown. And this is how I will put this into perspective here. When you start calling me names, you lose the argument. That's why Biden lost the argument. Biden is a politician, and any black person voting for this guy is a nut themselves. And I hate to say this, most black people will never have any change because they don't read. They listen to the mainstream media. Now, Trump should have mentioned that economic stimulus plan that the Democrats are holding up. He should have also mentioned that $500 billion economic package for the black community. He'll probably pick that up in the second debate. Now, the problem I have with all these debates is liberals moderate the debates. I would like to see somebody like a Brit Hume, a Sean Hannity, a Laura Ingraham. Even I could have moderated that debate because I would have been throwing out tough questions. But Biden is going to get treated with kid gloves this morning. And I can tell you right now, the mainstream media, which is left of Lenin, is going to say Biden won the debate. Biden was lucky to get out of there alive. If he did not have Chris Wallace on his side, Trump would have annihilated him. See, what I'm going to tell you about Biden, he does not know anything about economics. He's a politician. He's been in politics for 47 years. He would not condemn Antifa and BLM as terrorist organizations. Now, Chris Wallace put out the Proud Boys. Well, the Proud Boys aren't a white supremacist organization. He put that out because of what Biden said about Charlottesville when he saw white supremacists coming in with torches. Well, Antifa also came in there. They were ready to fight as well. But what Biden did not say about Charlottesville was there were good people on both sides. Now, he was not talking about the white supremacists, and he was not talking about Antifa. He was talking about people on both sides of the issue to take down a statue in Charlottesville. That's what it was. And see, the left in this country wants to do everything to control the masses. Now, when it came to voter fraud, and it's been proven that there's been voter fraud, Minneapolis, Pennsylvania, Florida, New Jersey, you name it. Biden believes that there's no voter fraud. Now, Trump also should have gone in and hit him on fracking. Now, Biden also sidestepped the leftists in his party because they had the Green New Deal going on when it came to energy. Now, Biden did say he's going to raise corporate taxes. He's going to get rid of the tax cuts. He tried to go in on Trump's taxes. But what Biden doesn't understand is when you have a business, you get deductions. You can deduct business expenses, write them off. And Biden and his party were part of writing the tax code. Well, Biden made $15 million. He said he put out his tax returns. Where are his tax returns? Biden did not put anything out about a list of judges for his Supreme Court. And his judges would legislate from the bench because they're leftists. But at the end of the day, the debate was a fiasco because of the moderator. And what we need to do as American people is to write some of these corporations and tell them to put decent moderators at these debates. Now, in Utah, next week, there's going to be the vice presidential debate. Now, I'm afraid of that because when Kamala Harris starts losing on policy, she's going to pull the race card. And this is what the Democrats do. But smart American people are not falling for it. And at the end of the day, when it comes to politics, I'm sick of all these career politicians. What they need to do is the states, and it can happen, 34 states can have a convention. And that convention is to ratify the Constitution. You need 34 states to hold the convention. But you need 38 states to ratify the Constitution. We need term limits on all politicians because too many of these politicians have been in office for a long time. They don't care about the American people. They only care about themselves. Now, something else that Trump did. Trump went in on the Ukraine and China with reference to his son making money. But Biden tried to throw his son in the military in there. And when he did that, that made him look bad because that's not what the argument was about. It was about his son, Hunter. Now, if I had done that, taking money like that, I'd been put in jail. Now, I understand why Trump had to intervene because he wasn't going to get a fair shot at that debate anyway. And see, the mainstream media right now, they're yucking it up, saying, I told you Biden could do it. Biden got bailed out last night. And of course, Trump forgot some of his issues. Biden says he's not for defunding the police. But if you look at 3 months ago, he said he was going to allocate money somewhere else. That means you're going to defund the police. You're going to move money from the police somewhere else. Biden would not condemn the riots that are going on in Democratic cities. Biden was on his heels. But the moderator did not help either. Chris Wallace is a joke. And I hope Fox News is watching, because your network looked very bad. And I'm telling everybody who has watched Fox News in the past, turn off Fox News, watch people like me here on YouTube, watch OAN, PatriotNews.com, ABL, Will Johnson, watch Brandon Tatum, watch media here on YouTube, listen to conservative talk radio if you're conservative, because Fox News did themselves no justice with placing Chris Wallace as a moderator. The person they should have used was Britt Hume. He's very intelligent. He worked over at ABC with Chris Wallace. But getting back to the debate, I just don't believe Biden had any knowledge of the issues. Now, again, just like Obama, I don't dislike Joe Biden, but Joe Biden was part of that 1994 crime bill. Now, I'm not going to say Trump didn't get excited. Trump is a megalomaniac. He's brash. Now, in reality, the people who lost last night were us, the American people. Because I want to hear policies. Now, it did not change my vote. Again, these debates that they have, in my humble opinion, they're very entertaining. If you don't know who you're going to vote for by now, after seeing who's been on the campaign trail, working their butt off, then there's no hope for you, because you got a lot of stupid voters here that don't really know what's going on. But when it comes to law and order, I didn't hear Biden say anything about law and order. And the reason why he didn't say anything about law and order, because his base, which is the Democratic left, doesn't want law and order. But if Biden disagrees with his base, some of the members of his party who are leftists, they're not going to vote. They're going to sit at home. Now, there are two more debates. One of them is going to be in Tennessee, I believe. And I believe the second one is going to be a town hall type of debate. I like the town hall format. But the problem I have with Biden does not take tough questions. Biden's been treated with kid gloves. And I knew last night, before the debate started, what Chris Wallace was going to do. Also, Biden was looking down on some paper. I don't know if he was writing notes down. I don't know if he had the questions fed to him. But he was looking down. And when I'm debating somebody, I'm going to look them in the eye. I'm going to look the moderator in the eye, and I'm going to look my opponent in the eye. But again, when it comes to politics here, we need term limits. Now again, when it comes to voting, I want a fair election. And I think everybody should get out there to vote. If the protesters can get out there and they don't practice social distancing, why call up the rallies that Trump has? Trump has his rallies at airports. But going back to the debate, the moderator caused the debate to be a fiasco. He didn't have any control over the debate. And I knew Trump was going to battle against Chris Wallace because he sat down with Chris Wallace before. And Chris Wallace, he's shown in that interview he doesn't like Trump. Now, we all have a built-in bias. I have a built-in bias. But when it comes to debates, we'll see how the next few debates work. Because Biden did admit he's going to raise corporate taxes. Well, you raise taxes. That's not creating jobs. Biden was talking about the economy. Well, before the economy was bad due to COVID, notice what I said, before the economy went bad prior to COVID, the economy was doing pretty good. Now, Biden thinks the economy is doing bad. Well, the states that are blue, like Pennsylvania, California, they're still closed. I believe North Carolina is still closed. But when it comes to the economy, most of us are beginning to see through this COVID. We're adults. We don't need big government. And I believe Biden, he may be a moderate, but he's being dragged to the left. And when you're debating and campaigning, you want to always move to the center. Now, I think the debate might have turned off women in the suburbs, but it is what it is. My view on this is, I hope the next debate will be a little bit more policy friendly. But the debate commission needs to mix it up and put one liberal and one conservative to moderate. That way there would have been some balance. I think had the moderation been a little bit better, the debate would have gone smoothly. Now, President Trump is going to go out and campaign again. Biden's probably going to get in his basement. But both men need to learn this. When you're debating, let one make his point and then the other can respond. Now, I know a lot of us are always on the defensive to make our point. Because when you interrupt, now, Bill O'Reilly used to interrupt his guest, and I know why he did that. Because his guest, when he was on Fox News, because Bill O'Reilly is a hard interviewer, his guest would basically skate around the issue. Now, I've done that when I debated people. I'd interrupt them because they didn't have the facts in hand. They didn't want to answer the question. Or they would call me names. This is what I do when I annihilate women in debates. Because I know when you know something and I know when you don't know something. Because you're going to call me names. You're going to try to change the topic. And Chris Wallace, he was quick to change the topics as well. But one thing that Chris Wallace didn't want to hear, this is where he changed the topic, when it came to the military. Biden called the military, and it was on tape, losing bastards. But Biden tried to point out that Trump hated the military. No, the Atlantic made that up. But when it comes to the overall debate, it was a bloodbath. And I believe Trump hit Biden on the issues, but it was too much interruption. But I understand why the interruptions had to take place, because Biden, again, flat out lied. He's not condemning the violence going on in this season. And Biden doesn't know anything about economies, okay? Do not depend on a politician when it comes to jobs. Politicians do not create jobs. What politicians do is they legislate and they put laws in action to either help or hurt economies. Now, again, I believe President Trump and Joe Biden, they believe what they believe. But when it comes to Chris Wallace, he was really the destroyer of that debate. That's why I said Trump hit Biden hard on the issues. Biden really couldn't do anything when it came to his son Hunter Biden. He couldn't do anything when it came to taxes, because he was asked again when the tax question came up. Why didn't you do something about the tax code when you've been in office? Again, he didn't do anything about violence, crime bill, calling black people predators. And remember something about Biden. Biden hung around with people like Robert KKK Byrd. Biden also said, you don't know who you're voting for, whether it's me or Trump, you ain't black, on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne. And see, black people, I hope some of you wake up. Now, I'm going to give a shout out to some of the younger brothers, particularly Mr. Fantastic, Ramil. The younger brothers are waking up. It's a lot of these older dinosaur brothers who still live on that plantation. And see, one of the problems I see when it comes to division, because Trump called Biden out on what happened during the the Biden administration and the Obama-Biden administration, where he talked about Ferguson and Baltimore. Because under Obama, race relations were very, very high. The Obama administration divided this country, not the Trump administration. Trump has done more for HBCUs. Now, Trump called Biden out when Biden said he started at Delaware State. And for the most part, Biden has basically flip-flopped all of his answers. He said he wasn't for fracking. Now he is for fracking. He was for defunding the police. Now he isn't. But when it comes to the violence, again, Biden is not denouncing BLM and Antifa. Trump should have brought BLM up as well. Now, when it came to energy, Biden was talking about renewable energy creating all these jobs. Really hasn't been an ongoing thing with renewable energy. I mean, I live here in Indiana, and every day I drive down I-65 or drive up I-65 toward Chicago, there are a bunch of wind farms. You want to know where all that electricity is going? It's going to Illinois. So we're not getting any of it. I mean, wind power doesn't work unless you have wind. Now, carbon emissions. You got Gavin Newsom. He wants to get rid of gas-powered cars by 2035. You see, all this emissions that have gone into cars has basically raised the base price of the car. That's why we're paying a lot for cars. But when it comes to energy, you got to get rid of all the regulations. And Biden showed me last night that if he's in office, he's going to put back in all the regulations. he's talking about creating renewable energy jobs. Now, Trump went back at Biden when it came to the coronavirus. But Biden again tried to sidestep him by saying, well, you basically didn't tell people, or I'm going to put it this way. You didn't want people to panic about the coronavirus. You didn't tell them everything. That's not a lie. Because here in America, it has become a soft country. And for the most part, a number of individuals out here live their lives very emotionally. They don't think. And again, the media has created a lot of tension in this country. And Trump has had to fight the media. He has had to fight his own party. He's had to fight the Democrats. But right now, when it comes to what's going on between Biden and Trump, I do see two different views of the country. One is coming from a politician, because Biden will always be a politician. This is all he knows. This is why he doesn't know anything about creating jobs. He's never had to create a job. He's lived off the taxpayers for 50 years. Now he claims he got in to running for president because of Charlottesville. Well, going socialist is going to make things worse for the American people. We don't need more government control. We need less government control. But again, Biden tried to hit Trump with the burning of the church in Washington when he held up the Bible. There were riots. Biden never conceded to Trump with the trade deal. Instead of what President Clinton utilized, a trade deal known as NAFTA, Trump put in USMCA. And even Biden, in an interview, mentioned that USMCA was better than NAFTA. I wish Trump had hit him a little bit more with policy instead of over-talking him. Because again, we want to hear policy issues. And see, when I look at Biden, he's using the same old platform that Obama used. Biden is no Obama, though. I mean, Biden can get up there and Obama can get up there and make a speech all day, but Biden did not do anything for black people. Biden was friendly toward women and the LGBTQ community. And black men out there, hear me and hear me closely. Better get in those books and start studying. Now again, I'll give more of a shout out to the younger brothers, because these older brothers are washed up. They still believe that they're living in the 1960s, and they're going to vote for Democrats. Now I'm a Gen Xer, and I stopped voting Democratic a long time ago. And I only voted Democrat because that's what my family did. But now we have more information floating around. It's much easier to see what's going on. I don't have to rely on the alphabet channels. I don't have to rely on the newspapers. Now, again, with this debate, the mainstream media is going to put it out there that Joe Biden won. Joe Biden was lucky he stood for 90 minutes. Because again, Chris Wallace bailed him out. Now again, I'm not disliking Biden. disliking Trump. But I do see a contrast in what Biden and Trump want to do. And Biden talks about Trump not having a plan. Where's Biden's plan? Where's Biden's plan about COVID? Because really, Biden wants to go the easy way. He wants to shut everything down. Well, when you shut everything down, the country will lose jobs. Look what happened before. Has he learned? But going back to the debate, at the end of the day, Chris Wallace was horrible. He did not know how to moderate. It got out of hand. And I have to blame all that on the moderator. And Fox News should be ashamed of themselves. But at the end of the day, we'll wait for the next debate. But the debate commission should start putting two people there, a conservative and a liberal. That way, you'll have some balance. Because right now, every time a Democrat is running the debates, they go for the Democrat. But, gave you my analysis on the debate. You tell me what you think. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. Check out my Mind of STEM channel if you want some science, technology, engineering, and math. And you can find me on YouTube, Blog Talk Radio. Check me out on Twitter and Facebook. My Blog Talk Radio calling number is 215-383-5785. Again, thank you for listening to this commentary here on the 411 Talk Zone radio show. I'll leave you with a little bit of this. Be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Always know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Now, I'm not asking you to donate. I'm asking you to like and share my videos. You can donate if you want. Have my PayPal. Have my Cash App. And you can email me for topics. Donate if you want. Please support the channel by sharing my videos. And again, that's the end of the commentary. Once again, my name is Leon Jones. You have a wonderful and gracious day. God bless you. I'm out.